to this, the first of 3 videos about understanding how to integrate into academic life at the music discipline at UKZN. The first video in this series is going to be looking at reading and understanding academic literature. And we're going to do this as a team, Hlengwa here with me on my left, and we are going to see if we can explain to you as clearly as possible in both English and Zulu how academic knowledge works. So let's start. Let's talk about finding academic sources. When you come to university, you will soon find out that you're going to be doing essays and assignments that require you to look for information. And we are going to try and show you where to find reliable information for your projects. The first place that you should always start is the UKZN Music Library, and there log in to a computer, or you can even use your cell phone if you've got a smartphone, and access the UKZN library website. I've put up the web page address for you over here so that you can see it and you can type it into your computer or cell phone. That is the first place to start when you are looking for academic sources.
Kubalulekile kakhulu ke la university ukuthi njengoba akufani njengasesikoleni. Esikoleni ulwazi isikhathi esiningi ubusebenzisa ucingo lwakho noma ifoni yakho ukuze uthole imininingwane mhlawumbe oyidingayo ukuze ubhale assignment osokunika uthisha. Lapha university kuqhuqhuzelwa kakhulu ukuthi ulwazi mawulibheka uqale ulibheke endaweni yomqulu yolwazi i-library yakhona lapha e-UKZN. Ihlukene kabili i-library, ungakhona ukuya ngqo e-library ekuyi-campus okuyo, noma ungakhona ukungena online mhlambe ngocingo lwakho lefoni noma kuma-computer khona la esikoleni. Uyakhona ukungena online ku-library kuyo le link oyibonayo njengamanje, bese uyakhona-ke lapho ukubheka-ke ulwazi oludingayo ukuze ubhale le assignment yakho.
There are some other options for you as well if you are looking for very detailed information. And I want to recommend that you do not use Google on its own. But when you are looking for information about an academic essay or an academic project, that you rather look for Google Scholar. You can do that by typing Google Scholar into your normal search engine. I've put up the web address for that here. When you type any kind of information into Google Scholar, it will give you reliable academic sources which speak about that subject. Also, you'll find very helpful the music guide on the UKZN library webpage, which speaks specifically about music sources and the music library. Now, let's talk about finding academic books. If you've used a library before, you'll know that all academic books have, or all books actually in a library, have a little number on their spine. And I'll show you what that looks like. You won't be able to see the number from here, but at the back of a book, you'll find a small number. That is called the Dewey number. Now, the Dewey number is what you will find when you type a specific subject into a search engine like the UKZN library webpage. You'll find all sorts of books around that subject, and each book will have a special number. That number shows you where to look for the book in the library. Now, for example, I'll show you that all music books, books that are about music, start with the number 78, and then there's usually a number after that, 78. So music books always will have the number 78 and then some other numbers after that. So most of the books in the music library, for example, will start with those 2 numbers. But the numbers after that are always put in numerical order. So you'll be able to find them from 1 all the way through to 9. And the whole library is structured like that. So you can walk through the library and look for the books with the number that you are looking for through numerical order. So it's easy to find them.
Ukusonga nje okushuthi lonke ibhuku noma incwadi lapha e-university ine number, leyona le number kuthiwa i-Dewey number. So le number yenza kuba lula ke ukuthi uma kukhona incwadi mhlawumbe oyifunayo ukwazi ukuyithola kalula ngoba ibhuku nebhuku line number yayo ehlukile. okusho ukuthi mhlambe wena uma uzongena ku-library yalapha e-KZN ungene online ngoba ikhona iwebsite yakhona ungene khona kwi-website and then uyasearcha lapha mhlambe incwadi nalokho sisazokhuluma ngakho kabanzi ukuthi ukwenza kanjani lokho ukubheka kwayo incwadi online. Uma ukungena lapha online wathola lapha incwadi mhlawumbe oyibonayo noma osolayo ngathi ikhuluma ngolwazi olufunayo, angeke uthole yona ngqo incwadi angithi. Kodwa into ezovela lapho kuzovela isihloko sayo leyo ncwadi mhlambe nombhalo wayo bese kuvela yona le number le. Wena-ke kungaba lula kakhulu kuwe ukuthi uthathe le number uyibhale phansi bese usuyaya-ke e-library uyobheka kahle emashelofini ngoba amashalofu ase-library alungiswe ngayo indlela yalezi zinamba lezi ukuthi uyakhona ukubheka-ke nawe le number le. Kodwa-ke lokho kuwumdanti nami ngiyakwazi. Indlela elula ukuthi uma usulitholile leli bhuku wayithola le dewey number yaleli bhuku leli uye nje e-library ucele bekusize noma ubanike yona le number kube sekubalula kakhulu nakuba ukuthi bekunike leli bhuku olifunayo kunokuthi mhlambe uye lapho ungazi nokuthi uyofunani noma uye lapha uyazi incwadi oyifunayo kodwa mhlambe awunaso nesiqiniseko nokuthi ikhona yini kuyo leyo library leyo.
Now, I have some advice for you if you are new to an academic library. The best way to get used to a library is to go into the library and look for books that are interesting for you. So if you like opera, for example, go into the library and in the search engine, write opera and see what comes up, what kind of books come up. And then write the numbers, the Dewey numbers down and go and look for all of the books that are about opera in the library. Or if you are interested in eschatomia, write eschatomia into the search engine. See what books come up. Look for the numbers and write them down and then go and look for all of those books in the library. If you do that little exercise, it will help you in the future in using the library. Now, in university, primarily we are dealing with knowledge. We are helping you as lecturers to gain knowledge and how to use knowledge. We all have heard this little statement, knowledge is power. So what is knowledge? You might be using the word information rather than knowledge. They really mean the same thing. Information is a type of knowledge. Now, how do we get knowledge? Where does it come from? Well, in a university context, we speak about research creating new knowledge. What is research? Research is when we look at something in depth, when we do experiments to find something out about new types of elements, or if we go and look through history, for example, that creates new knowledge. Lecturers like me teach students like you how to use that knowledge when it's been created. But here's an important point. Is all knowledge true? Well, at a university, knowledge must be tested or proved before it can be trusted. This is an important point because in the world as we know it, you've probably heard about something called fake news. Well, fake news is a type of knowledge that is not true. At university, we are trying to show you how to sift through knowledge to work out whether it is true or whether it is not true. You can see how important that would be for yourself, for your family, and for the whole country. How do we test knowledge in a university? Well, here at any university, we usually experiment, particularly if you're in the sciences, you do small experiments to see what happens when you do particular things. Or you can analyze, and that's a kind of thing that we do in the music department quite a lot. We analyze music to see how it works, or how it's been created, or how we can perform it better. And then, after experimentation and analysis, one of the ways of testing knowledge is to get somebody else who knows about that kind of knowledge to review it, to tell us if it is reliable. That is called peer review.
Ukusonga nje cha lapha e-university into ebaluleke kakhulu noma into okusetshenzwa ngayo kakhulu mhlambe nawe ungaqedela ulwazi. So ulwazi-ke ulwazi luhlukene kaningi emhlabeni, luningi ulwazi. Kodwa-ke lapha kwe-university kusuke kusetshenzwa kakhulu noma nje ngingasho ukuthi kuphela ngolwazi osolucwaningiwe futhi okunesiqiniseko lokuthi luyiqiniso, ngoba akusilona lonke ulwazi oluyiqiniso emhlabeni. Luningi ulwazi kodwa akusilona lonke oluyiqiniso. Ngakho-ke ngayo yonke indlela nabafundisi abafundisayo lapha bayaqiniseka ukuthi bekufundise ngolwazi oselihloliwe ukuthi luyiqiniso. Ingakho-ke nawe mfundi kufuneka nawe uzijwayeze noma uzame ngayo yonke indlela ukuthi uma ubheka ulwazi noma uthola ulwazi uliqiniseke ukuthi ngabe luyiqiniso ngempela yini. So ziningi-ke indlela zokuzama ukuqiniseka ukuthi ulwazi luyiqiniso ngempela yini, njengakho ukuthi kwenziwe izinhlelo ezithile zokuhlola lokho okuthiwa ama-experiment, experiment. So ulwazi oselu-experimentiwe yaphasa leyo experiment, hhayi sekungashiwo ukuthi luyiqiniso. Nolwazi mhlawumbe oselucwaningiwe ngokusondezwa eduze, emva kokuphasa ucwaningo olukanjalo nalolo lwazi sekungashiwo ukuthi hhayi luyiqiniso. Nolwazi-ke oseluphasile uhlobo locwaningo okuthiwa i-peer review. I-peer review ukuthi mhlambe uma mina ngochwephesha endimeni ethile noma ngolwazi oluthile bese ngibhala incwadi, abanye-ke abantu labo kuthiwa ama-peers noma abantu esinabo kulo mkhakha kumele nabo belifunde lolu lwazi lolu esengibhalile mina ngalo. Uma bethi-ke bona hhayi nabo liyahlangana nolwazi abanalo noma laba abafundiswa lona, lokho-ke kusho ukuthi hhayi lolu lwazi-ke lwampela hhayi seliyiphasile yona le peer review leyo. So sifuna ngayo yonke indlela ukuthi uma uthola ulwazi noma uma ufuna ulwazi, ufune ulwazi oluyiqiniso futhi oseluthestiwe ngey'ndlela ey'ningi. Akusho ukuthi mhlawumbe kumele luhlolwe ngazo zonke lezi ndlela, kodwa eyodwa yazo-ke okungcono kumele kube khona leyo ndlela eseluthestwe ngayo. So ilapho-ke esiya khona ekutheni uma nawe sekuthiwa mhlambe ubhala i-assignment noma ubhala i-essay, zama ukuthi uthole ulwazi oluyiqiniso ngempela.
Now let's have a look at what peer review can mean from a more detailed perspective. I think Hlengwa has already been doing that a little bit. Let me do it in English now too. When new knowledge is produced, when we find new information, when we create new information, other experts need to say whether it is likely to be correct given their own experience. Now, when we are chatting together with our friends, we are almost always doing a kind of peer review on each other. Think about when you talk about politics. Some people might have a particular political view, others may have another in your own group of friends. Somebody may make a statement, a political statement, and the others will say, but wait, what about this, and what about that, and what about the other thing? We are busy correcting each other, busy balancing out the truth of what we are saying in our everyday speech. That is a type of peer review. In a university setting, peer review is when somebody who is an expert, somebody who knows a lot about a small section of knowledge, is able to give some kind of feedback about whether, given their own experience, what somebody else has written is likely to be true. If they think it is true, then that information can be published or presented. And academic knowledge is usually published or presented in books, in journals, or at academic conferences. This is how the whole peer review process works. You can see then that the knowledge that we read in these kind of books, in these kind of journals, is more likely to be correct and reliable than something that hasn't gone through that process. Now, I need to show you a little bit about what you can expect from the kind of books and journals that I've just been speaking about and how they work, because they're not the normal type of book that you would find in a library or in a bookshop that you would read just for the fun of reading. So let's have a look at what kind of academic books you can get. Here are the types that you will usually find in a university library. And it's important that you don't need to remember what these titles are. I'm just giving you the scientific name for them so that you know what it is. But you don't need to go and talk about a monograph. You can simply talk about a book. But I'll just tell you what they are so that you know. The first type is a monograph. This is a specialized book which looks at one small topic, and it's always by an expert author or 2 or 3 expert authors. They know the field that they are looking at very, very well. The second type of book is a book of essays. This is a collection of essays that are related in topic. So they might look at, for example, music in at UKZN, and all of them are about a different type of music making at UKZN. That could create a book of essays. Usually a book of essays is by several authors, maybe as many as 10 or 11, but it's always edited by somebody. That means somebody looks at it, looks at all of the things together and makes sure that they are on track. So that's one of the things that's important about a book of essays, and we'll look about that just now again. Then we get textbooks, and all of you will have used textbooks probably at high school, but we have textbooks as well at university, and this is always on a specialized topic, but it's designed for students, people like you. So it's usually presented in a way that makes easier sense than if it were a very, very detailed book. It's also by expert authors. And then we get something called subject-specific reference books. And this is like if you get a music dictionary, and you'll come across these. Those are dictionaries that have all of the words that you might need as a musician, and it gives their definitions. What you'll soon see coming out here at UKZN is a glossary of terms, which are musical terms, which are in English and in isiZulu, so that you will know what a particular English music word is when you use it in Zulu. That would be an example of a subject-specific reference book. Okay, now let's have a look at each of these separately. A monograph, and I've told you already that a monograph is a book on a specialized topic by one expert author. And I've got an example of that now. You won't be able to see this terribly well, but it's called In Township Tonight. It also has a subtitle that says South Africa's Black City Music and Theatre, and it is by somebody called David Copeland. What we can see about this is that it's about a very narrow topic. The narrow topic is township music, so it's music in an urban area, and it's by black musicians only. So we're only looking in townships, music made by black musicians. Okay, so that's the specialized topic. We also see that it's by one expert author. If you were to Google the name David B. Copeland, you would find that he is a professor of music and sociology at Wits University. So he's an expert in what he does. He's written this book to demonstrate how township music, how township jazz, how township singing developed over a period of 300 years. So you ask yourself, what would this kind of book be useful for? Well, imagine you had to write an essay on black musicians in South African cities. This kind of book would be very helpful for you. What I want to show you, which is very important, in that most academic books have several things which are important to see. One of them at the back of the book is called a glossary. A glossary is a list of musical terms, or in this case musical terms, but a list of terms which you might not know from everyday speech, which are specific to speaking about this topic. So in this book, we have a glossary in alphabetical order of all of the words that you might not have come across before, and you might want to know what they mean. This is where you would find it. Many academic books have a glossary at the back. But another important thing which books have, academic books, is something called an index. This is helpful for if you are looking for a specific topic that might be in a particular book. And they are listed in alphabetical order too. So if you're looking for one specific musician, for example, by name, you could look in the index and you'd see where in this book that person is mentioned. So those are the helpful things about a monograph. They always have those kind of things at the back of the book so that you can find information more easily.
Cha ukwengeza nje lapho noma ukusonga i-monograph singabeka nje ngokuthi incwadi lingaxaki kakhulu igama uzudideka nawe mhlawumbe ukuthi igama elime kanje. Cha incwadi ebhalwe umbhali onguchwephesha mhlambe olwazini oluthile. Ngicabanga ukuthi kubalekile nokucacisa la ngoba angeke nje mhlambe mina ngivuke ekseni bese ngithi hayi senguchwephesha. Nalo eligama lobuchwephesha akushilo igama nje ungavuka uzinike wena noma uyabo kulula ukuthi noma ubani ngathi uchwepheshe entweni bese abhala incwadi. Ngabe lo ncwadi sizoba i-monograph nayo siyisebenzisele ukubhala ama-essay ethu. Cha ma umuntu ewuchwephesha entweni ethile uba lapha ngokwemfundo yalapha e-university umuntu osuke esethole iziqu kulolo lwazi oluthile awuchwephesha kulo. So isibonelo njengaye nje uDavid Copeland owumbhali wale ncwadi le esenze isibonelo ngayo. So uDavid Copeland njengoba ebhale le ncwadi nje ewuchwephesha ngolwazi oluthile lo lwazi le-jazz akavukanga ekseni nje wase wayibona ukuthi hayi ngiyashaya nguchwephesha manje angibhale incwadi. Yebo ke mhlambe kwaba kanjalo kodwa umbono wakhe usekelwa na iziqu anazo. So ngifisa ukucacisa nakho la ukuthi uma i-monograph noma nje incwadi esetshenziswayo lapha e-university incwadi ebhalwe umuntu ochwephesha ngokweziqu noma ngokwamagalelo akhe asewenzile kulowo mkhakha loyo. So bese uma-ke esebhala incwadi-ke leyo ncwadi-ke leyo singasetshenziswa-ke ngifisa futhi nokukubeka nezinto ey'balulekile ey'khona lapha encwadini. Mina-ke ngakubona sekuhambe kakhulu isikhathi nami ngangingazi ngangiyifunda nje incwadi ngingabheki nokubheka ukuthi khonani. So i-index le ekhona ngapha ngemuva ngeke ngisayiveza iyona esuke ibeka amagama athile amayelana nehlokwana ezithile okukhulunywa ngazo la encwadini. Ngoba kuyenzeka kakhulukazi la e-university ukuthi ubhekane nencwadi uyayibona le ncwadi inalo ulwazi engilidingayo kodwa inkulu le ncwadi le. Uma incwadi inkulu ke iyiBhayibheli nje ngokwayo kunzima ukuthi uzoyifunda yonke ube wena udinga ulwazi oluthile nje oluncane ekhuluma ngayo ngaphakathi. So i-index iyasiza-ke lapho ukuthi uvele uye kuyo index lapha ngemumva ubheke igama noma amagama athile ahambiselanayo nalesihloko wena ofuna ukubhala ngaso noma lesihloko wena ofuna ulwazi ngaso. So i-index iyasiza-ke kakhulu kubalekile-ke nokuyazi noma ngeke ngithi nje kuyasiza nokuyazi ngoba awubusulokhu ufunda incwadi yonke engaka kodwa wena uthola ukuthi ulwazi nje oludingayo mhlawumbe lulapha egcineni. Ayigqugquzeli njalo ubuvila futhi akusho ukuthi-ke manje ungayifunda incwadi usuyohlala nje njalo wena uqonda ngqo kwi-index. Cha ifunda incwadi kodwa-ke izimo ayifani kukhona izimo lapho usuke udinga nje wena ulwazi oluthile. Ne-glossary-ke usechazile ngapha nayo uDoctor ukuthi i-glossary suke inamagama amathile asetshenzisiwe la encwadini okungenzeka ukuthi mhlawumbe amagama ngokunkulumo nje ejwayelekile ongeke mhlawumbe uwazi wena. So iyasiza-ke na ukuthi uma ubhekana namagama encwadini ufunda incwadi mhlawumbe amagama ongawazi noma ongawatholi kahle ungazi uyobheka nje kwezinye indawo ngapha ngasencwadini ngemuva ngakhona ukwathola lapho.
Thank you. I want to give you a specific example where an index could be helpful in a monograph like this. Let us say you are asked to write an essay on Miriam Makeba. You go to the back of the book in the index and you look under M for Makeba. And you find in the index that there are several places in this book where Miriam Makeba is spoken about. In fact, there are 7 different places in this book where she is spoken about specifically. And the index tells you which page to go to find where she's spoken about. So you can see how that can be helpful. Now, let's go to another type of source, which is a book of essays. I've got an example of that here. A book of essays is a collection of essays on a related specialized topic by several expert authors and usually edited by one or more experts. And I'm going to give you an example of that through this. This is called the Cambridge Companion to Bach, which is edited by John Butt. Now, the specialist topic here is the composer Johann Sebastian Bach. So all of the essays in this book are going to be about Bach. So if we open a book of essays, what we find is that all of the chapters or the essays are written by different people who are experts in their field, experts about specific topics about Bach. So, for example, in this book, there are 4 parts of this book. There's one about the historical context of Bach's life. There's a little bit about his music, the music that he wrote. And then there's another section about how his music was received by people. So when people heard his music, what did they think? And then the last section of the book is all of the things we've just been talking about. There are notes, there's a bibliography, and there's also an index. So you can see that this book has similarities to the one that we had before, but it's by a group of experts rather than just one expert. Okay, like the other book, if you go to the back, you'll find the index where you can look for particular things. So, for example, if you had to write a book, an essay about Bach's cantatas, then you could go to the index and find cantata. And there you would find several things about cantatas. For example, if you had to write about a cantata structure, you would go to page 38 of this book and you'll be able to find information about that. The reason that I show you this book and this book, the difference between a book of essays and a monograph, is because in our next video we'll see how to create a bibliography for each of these. And they are different. Even though they are books, different types of books require different types of citation, which we'll learn about later. That's why I need to show you this. So that is a book of essays.
Ukusonga nje kafishane incwadi ke le ukuthiwa ibook of essays noma incwadi ewumqulu ohlanganisayo incwajana esebhalwe ababhali abaningi abahlukahlukene ngesihloko esithi asibe nokuhlangana noma nokusondelana okusho ukuthi ke kufike kube khona ababhali noma ama-author amaningi ahlukahlukene abhalile nawo ngokuhlukana ebhala ngokuzimela bese kuba khona umuntu oyedwa kuyenzeka futhi bebe babili abazohlanganisa ke zonke lezi incwajana lezi noma lama essay bawahlanganise bawafake encwadini eyodwa bese kuleyo ncwadi ke kube yona eshicilelwayo usho laba abantu ke okuyibona ababhalile lezi incwajana singabiza sithi ama-author, and then laba abantu lo muntu okuyena ohlanganisile zonke lezi incwajana wakhipha leli bhuku kuthiwa ke ibona aba-edithile leyo ncwadi leyo. Kubalulekile ke uku-understanda umehluko phakathi kwayo le ncwadi le ewumqulu ohlanganisile ama-essay, i-book of essays nayo i-monograph noma incwadi nje ejwayelekile, ngoba uma ubhala ama-essay yakho noma ama-assignment yakho usu-reference lapha egcineni noma ususho ukuthi ulwazi oluthathephi, indlela okubeka ngayo lokho uma ukuthi usebenzisa i-book of essays ihlukile nendlela oreferensa ngayo incwadi nje ejwayelekile ebhalwe mhlawumbe umbhali oyedwa.
Now we go to 2 types of books which I think you will already be familiar with. One is a textbook. At school, you will probably have come across textbooks, and these are designed specifically for students like you to be able to understand a topic more easily. I've brought a book along here, which I use sometimes, called Understanding African Music by Mandy Carver. This book and these kinds of books usually are much better illustrated than the books that we've been talking about. So they're full of pictures, but they also have lots of examples. And in this one, it has lots of musical examples to help you understand some of the concepts that are related to the information that is presented. This particular book even has a musical CD so that you can listen along with the textbook while you are reading it to understand things more clearly. Remember, a textbook is a book that is by an expert, but it's not written in an expert style. It's written so that somebody like you can understand easily. But they are still very helpful books for essays and for anything that you have to do in projects.
Cha ukusonga nje kafishane la ngicabanga ukuthi kubalekile ukuthi ngiqale nje ngibeke ukuthi ungadideki kunomehluko phakathi kwemonograph netextbook zombili incwadi kodwa umehluko nje omkhulu ukuthi itextbook yona incwadi ebhalelwe noma ngithi eqondiswe kubafundi shuthi umbhalo uyibhala ngenhloso yokudlulisa ulwazi kubafundi textbook yikho ke le engicabanga ukuthi mawukuthi ubusanda kuphuma nje esikoleni ubusebenzisa yona ikhathi eziningana kanti ke imonograph akusuke ingabhalelwe ngenhloso eqondene nje ngqo ukuthi eqondene nabafundi noma mhlawumbe ngenhloso yokuthi ifundwe abafundi noma ilekelele abafundi yebo ke nawe uma umfundi ongayifunda kodwa ke ayibhalelwe wena ngqo mhlawumbe ungayibuza ukuthi hawu uma ke ngabhalelwa umfundi mhlawumbe ibhalelweni mhlawumbe kungenzeka ukuthi umuntu angithi uchwephesha kulomkhakha othile so mhlawumbe ubhalele ukuthi ke naye adlulise ulwazi aselitholile lapha adlulisele mhlawumbe kubantu anabo abanye kuwo lomkhakha kuyenzeka futhi mhlawumbe wenzela nje ukuthi naye kunezinto ezithile asehambe wayithola usefisa ukuthi abeke ulwazi ngalezi zinto ukuze nabanye abazayo ngemuva beqhubekezele kulokho akutholile. Omunye ke uyayibhalela nje incwadi enzela ukuthi mhlawumbe unesifiso sokuthi ngolwazi analo akhona ukuthi alishicilele mhlawumbe akhona ukuthi naye kube khona indlela oligcineka ngayo ngoba ulwazi uma lusengqondweni yakho nje kuphela aligcinekile lapho mhla wadlula emhlabeni nalo liyodlula.
Now, the last type of book that we're going to look at before we move to a different type of text altogether is a subject-specific reference book. Now, I brought along a little book here called Classical Music. This is a book which people, even who are not musicians, might be interested in looking at. It is a list of all types of composers. For example, I've just opened up here on somebody called Richard Strauss. So anything that I need to know basically, and this is always basic information in a subject-specific reference book to give you an idea where to look for further information, for example. So here I've got information that I would need to know about the works of Richard Strauss and his kind of style of writing music. That's the basic start. You can get much more complex subject-specific reference books which look in depth at particular things. But something like this is for an everyday person who is interested in music and wants to find out more about particular composers or particular styles of music. Usually they are in alphabetical order, so it's easy to find all of the references. This is something usually, though, a subject-specific reference book that you would only use in an essay if you are using one of the very, very high-end versions of these. So this kind of book here that I've brought is not something that you would normally use in an essay, but it might guide you to more specific books which you could use. All right, now we are going to look at academic journals. Journals are important because they are published very regularly, usually monthly or every 3 months or once a year. They are also often published online, which makes them quite accessible for people like you and me. They contain peer-reviewed, that word that we used earlier, peer-reviewed articles and book reviews, and sometimes even letters. They tend to contain very up-to-date research that's been done recently and that is on the cutting edge of our field. So if we're doing music research in education, for example, those people who have been looking at how to teach and how to teach music effectively, their research is published now every few months so that we can see what's happening. So I've brought some journals for you to look at so that you can see what a journal might look like if you've got it in hard copy. Remember, you can get these online, and if you are looking for journals. You can find online journals on the UKZN web page or the UKZN library web page, where if you're on campus, if you are logged into the network here, you can usually download them free of charge. If you're off campus, you wouldn't be able to access them. But when you're on campus, you can access a very, very wide range of academic journals. I've brought 2 journals here that you can see so that you can see what a hard copy one looks like. They're like small books, but they're a bit like the book of essays that we looked at earlier. Here is, for example, all of the articles in this particular journal listed down the back page. You see, usually in a journal, the list of all of the entries is on the back page. That's not always the case, but it usually is the case. And you can see that there are lots of them in here. Usually articles are between 10 and 20 pages long. They're not hugely long because they're creating new knowledge. So they are very, very helpful books for up-to-date knowledge that is new, that has been reviewed recently, and that is expanding our understanding of the world.
Uchaza nje kafishane kubalekile ke ukwazi ngama journal lawa noma ama academic journal, kodwa ke ngingakuze uqonde kahle ukuthi yini i-journal. Ngicabanga ukuthi kubalekile ukuthi wazi ukuthi yini i-article qala, ngoba igama lelo ozobhekana nalo kakhulu kwesikhathi ozosichitha ulapha ke esikhungweni semfundo ephakeme. I-article mhlambe uyigama useke wabhekana nalo leli, mhlambe i-article unokuzwa amakhulunywa mhlambe ngephephandaba kanje. I-article ke kodwa le okukhulunywa ngayo la e-university, ubuhlobo enabo mhlambe ne-article oyaziyo ukuthi njengoba wazi nayo i-article yephephandaba iba mfishane, ayifani nombhalo mhlambe webhuku noma incwadi, isuka inkulu incwadi. So i-article umbhalo omfishane okhuluma ngesihloko esithile futhi uqondile ngqo awuhlambe ngeke ngithi awenabi kakhulu, mhlambe ubheke nezinye izinto ezisondelene naleso sihloko. Cha, ubuka leso sihloko nje ngqo. Mfishane ke lo mbhalo we-article. So uwona mehluko lo oqala phakathi kwe-article nencwadi. So incwadi inkulu, i-article imfishane. Okunye ke futhi okwenza ukuthi i-article ibe imfishane ngoba ama-article wona ukushicilelwa kwawo kwenziwa kaningi impela, mhlawumbe njalo ngenyanga ama-article ayashicilelwa, hleze ephuma kunababhali abahlezi bewabhala. Ingakho futhi lokho kwenza ukuthi ingabi inkulu yona njengebhuku, ngoba ibhuku mhlambe kungathatha ngisho unyaka nangaphezulu konyaka ukubhala incwadi, kodwa i-article imfishane kakhulu. Okungiholela ke ephuzweni lami lokugcina nge-article ukuthi njengoba ke ephuma njalo ama-article kuyinto eshicilelwa nje mhlambe umuntu enza uphenyo ngento ethile eyenzekayo mhlambe njengamanje, bese eshicilela yathi ebhale phansi ngalokho, bese eyayishicilela ke lo mbhalo lo mhlambe emva kwezinyanga ezimbili, bese soyawushicilela lo mbhalo lo. Lokho kwenza ukuthi ama-article kube iwona agqugquzelwa kakhulu noma asetshenziswa kakhulu lapha kwezemfundo, kakhulu ngisho ukudlula amabhuku, ngoba ama-article wona anolwazi lwamanje. Incwadi nje isibonelo, mhlawumbe incwadi kungakuthatha izinyanga ezintathu ukuthi uyibhale incwadi. So njengoba uthatha iminyaka emithathu ukuthi ubhale incwadi noma emibili, isimo salento obhala ngayo kungenzeka ukuthi asisafani ngendlela ebesiyiyo ngesikhathi wena usaqala ukuyibhala leyo ncwadi leyo. So ngalesikhathi usuyikhipha le ncwadi leyo, yebo khona ulwazi olukule ncwadi yakho luyilo futhi liqondile, kodwa izimo ziyahamba ishintshashintshe. Mhlawumbe ubhale umculo othile noma ubhala umculo wesicathamiya, uthola ukuthi usuhambe waze washintsha nawo wona umculo wesicathamiya, njengoba uma ungafunda iy'ncwadi ey'khona e-library zesicathamiya. Isicathamiya ey'bhala ngazo iningi lazo lezo y'ncwadi kwaze ey'bhalwe kudala akusizo esicathamiya esesikhona manje ngoba nomculo uyaguquguquka. Kodwa-ke okuhle ngama-article ukuthi wona njengoba ebhalwa ekhiqizwa njalo ayakhona ukuthi ahambiselane nalolu shintsho olwenzekalayo emhlabeni noma emculweni. So-ke i-journal-ke incwadi noma mhlampe i-website etholakala online eqoqa-ke lama-article lawa iwahlanganise bese wena uwathola-ke eselapho ehlangene lapho lawo ma-article lawo. Nawo-ke lawo ma-article futhi ukuze ingene kuleyo journal leyo ethile, maningi lawo ma-journal sozibeka nezibonelo zawo, kodwa ukuze ingene lapho kumele idlule kuyi-peer review, okusho ukuthi abanye abantu abakuwo lowo mkhakha lowo obhala ngawo kumele befunde nabo bevumelane ukuthi hhayi lolu lwazi alibhalele cha luyiyo futhi liyahambiselana nolwazi esinalo noma eliseke laphuma ngaphambilini.
I want to just make some closing remarks on academic journals which might be helpful for you. Academic articles in a journal almost always have something called an abstract. An abstract is a very short summary of what the whole article is about. This is helpful for you because it means that you might not have to read the whole article if it's got nothing to do with what you're wanting to study. So always read that little thing called the abstract first, because it will give you a clue about what the whole article is about. And if the abstract doesn't have something that is important for what you are researching, you don't need to read the article. Another thing that I want to point out, which is so important, when any of us come to university, coming into an academic library and reading academic books is very scary. The kind of English that is used in these kind of books is very sophisticated and difficult to read. But if you start trying to read some of it, you'll find that you'll get better and better at it. Even me, when I was at university, I was very nervous of reading and I didn't enjoy it very much. But when I found a topic that I really loved, and I'm interested in organ music and piano music and choral music, when I found books about those, I found that I was so interested in the topic that it helped me to get excited about reading. My suggestion to you is not to be scared of an academic library or academic books, but to just try and read them. You will find that they open up a world for you that you never knew existed. So that brings us to an end of this video. We have two more that you should listen to in conjunction with this, alongside this, and they are about citation and bibliographies. And then the last one is about how to write an academic essay. This is only an introduction to what you will have in the next two videos. So we encourage you to continue watching in the next two.